Shout out to the Chicago Bears. I'm doing something real quick. So video kind of while I'm doing that, being lazy. Anyway, one thing I wanted to talk about real quick. Shout out to Kevin Samuels doing those like Instagram live, experimenting with some different stuff. Also shout out to Avery Willie as well. You know, definitely unapologetically saying what needs to be said. You know, kind of showing out with the bait and the shoot, triggering these females. And this is one thing I did want to add to this conversation, which is it's obvious and it shouldn't have to be said, but being that we're dealing with what we're dealing with what need to be dealing with, you just got to say everything because people want to act like they're in the fucking slow class. And that is the fact that, let me say it this way so people can understand it. One of the things when Kevin was in the manosphere, Kevin really wasn't saying what the women need to do. He agreed with basically a lot of what we said, with the exception of the fact that a lot of people don't want to get married. And that's where and there's a lot of dudes that kind of fall into his camp with how they feel about that. As far as I'm concerned, folks are grown men. They can make decisions on what's in their best interest. We agree. We agree that men shouldn't be thinking about getting married until they're in their 30s or before they're 30. So it's not like motherfuckers are trying to get people married at an early age before they know what's up. So it's no malcontent, so to speak. So quite frankly, I know their heart's in the right place. So at that point, it just falls on grown men are going to do what grown men do. And if you're in the mindset as to what you want to do, that's up to you. And you got to deal with that decision just like anybody else. I hope the best for you, like straight up. But, you know, it is what it is, right? And I just don't get emotional about that. Hold on. And then, so basically, but this should be obvious, but it's not. And that is, like I said, when Kevin was in this space, one of the things he said, not all the time, but enough that people definitely remember it, was that if you don't have a lot of money, you should be in your 20s using your youth to work a lot of hours. Meaning you should be working like 60 hours a week at least. And if you're not really working 60 hours a week, you not having money is not a legit, like you're not qualified to really make that statement. Because the idea is you can work 2 jobs, you could work a job and get overtime. I don't want to hear the I'm black and I can't do it, the white man. No, fuck all of that. And this really rubbed people the wrong way, but black men the wrong way for a variety of reasons. See, black men will never come out and say, these are the things I have an issue with. They always like to keep shit ambiguous. Oh, it's about the vibe he gives. Oh, is he suspect? Oh, is it? Same thing they do with me when they try to come after my voice inflection. And notice that Kevin doesn't really have a voice inflection issue, but now people want to talk about mannerisms. And although it's always something. And even when you were saying Glendon Cameron gets his haters, BGS is old, Glendon Cameron, like it's always something. And what it really is you see this in the black men as well as black women, is people are looking for shit in order to get around, in order to make the shit that matters not matter as much. Now there's degrees to this, because some people, you know, they got their shit together to a certain extent, and I ain't saying anybody has an issue with Kevin ain't shit. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that these are the things that I've observed in many ways that when people got something to say. What's the point of me saying that? Well, as far as the hour thing, appreciate the $5 super chat, Gone Fishing. Definitely appreciate that. And I'm watching this game, so hopefully it works out. As far as the hour thing, working 5 hours or 60 hours. that's easier said than done depending on what you're doing. But I mean, definitely, I'm the type of person you need to start. If you're gonna do all that, you might as well start hustling. Something Carl said, it was really funny. He said you give 40 hours to them crackers and you give 20 hours to yourself, which actually falls in line with that putting 60 hours at least a week and getting this money. And so the results are results. Doesn't matter how you do it, you need to be doing it. If you got to work 2 jobs and grind it out, humble yourself and do it. That's kind of what Kevin said. And that's a way of being a qualifier. You see, you got to remember, Kevin's a sales guy. So a lot of how he does his stuff from a sales perspective, I can recognize. He puts qualifiers out there, and if you notice, he always comes back to the qualifiers to re-anchor a conversation. To re-anchor a conversation. Because people tend to want to get all off in the weeds into shit. When I say shit that don't matter, I mean emotionalism. What people want, and black men do it too. You see it when we have these conversations about, the riots and shit. People want to get off in emotionalism so things can just mean whatever it needs to mean that supports how somebody feels. This is not to say when it comes to the riots that, people are saying, like, even Professor Black Truth and Jason Black are about to cover, is it an inside job? But I know when they say it, it's different than how a lot of black people mean. A lot of black men, understanding how conspiratorial minded black men can be, they don't mean, okay, is it an inside job from a perspective of a lot of these people are white supremacists. They mean it's staged because they deep down want to take you over. And this is kind of like getting off the weeds a little bit. But the truth is, a lot of the freedoms you think you have is an illusion anyway. If they need to take it over, they will. And this idea that America just has to go all around the way to create pretenses for you to do it is really giving you more credit than you really need to have. And the second thing too is, truth be told, let's say I say everybody's right about what they're saying. You ain't gonna do shit about it anyway. The truth is, you ain't gonna do shit about it anyway. Because black men don't have this kind of... If black men had that level of control, then black men wouldn't be in a fucking gynocracy. Black men can't even be honest about where they stand when it comes to their own women and handle that. Yet somehow black men expect to somehow think they're gonna figure out a system. And then what's funny is you think you're gonna convince white people that benefit from this said system to give a fuck about what you figured out? I don't really so sometimes it's kind of like, what are we doing in that sense? But anyway, like I was saying, going back to the main topic. So the 60 hours, if you don't work 60 hours and you're talking about you want an 8, 9, or 10, quite frankly, you shouldn't even be in the conversation. Because that's something you can control and you can do. Or you can get your paper up. And who are you to say you want an 8, 9, or 10? Now see, men tend to basically either make it happen or fall in line with the pussy they have available to them that they can access. Right? And you don't hear men, this idea, and see, this is where a lot of people lie about the black version of red pill. This idea that we know, nobody debates that black men, outside of like dudes that are in the economic and genetic top like 10% or 15% or 20%, anybody like they're getting in where they can fit in for the most. You don't have these dudes that are online bitching about I can't get the pussy I want that are black men. That's not what you have. You have that in the white manosphere, but you don't, because they have that entitlement. Or the non-black manosphere, that's really where the white manosphere encapsulates well, but you don't see that. We have a different issue. Black men will sit there and fucking slum it out with fat bitches and have kids with bitches they ain't got no business having kids with, rather than stepping their own shit up. But see, and everybody knows this is true, yet some people want to pretend that the niggas online are either just mad because they can't get pussy or they're mad because they can't get the pussy they want. So this is where dudes like to insert the you need to self-improve shit because they make assumptions that people in this space are losers. And let me tell you something. Shout out to my email address, edwardanderson300k@gmail.com. Some of y'all I knew of if y'all came on the panels, but it's some of y'all, and you know who you are, that email me. Some of y'all content creators, some of y'all are not. And I've gotten to kind of go back and forth with you all on some threads, get to ask, some probing questions about what you do for a living and stuff like that. And I already knew that a lot of the audience was doing some really good shit. But there's a lot, motherfuckers are doing some shit. This idea that anybody in this space is in this space because they're a loser or they've been broken by bitches, it's fucking stupid. Like, you could be paying child support right now, shout out to Dre, and Corey helping the people paying child support. That doesn't break you. That's a situation that is a fucking irritant, but it's not breaking you. This idea that women have rendered black men unfunctional, so they gotta go somewhere, it's bullshit. People just want a place where they could fucking vent. And the reality of the situation is, fucking the barbershop used to serve that function. But the barbershop can be sometimes too blue fucking pill. And niggas are not really trying to argue with niggas like I'm the only one that believes this and every other nigga is like in denial. Niggas are not trying to play that game. I perfectly understand that. So, so why am I setting this table? I'm setting this table because what I've observed, this is true for, shout out to D-Rock Den. Remember my Cash App is Allen 100K, ALLEN 100K. I actually got a shout out a dude that gave me a $13 Cash App. Give me one moment, I'm gonna shout you out. And I got a shout out, gave me a $100 shout out. Put him in the thing, but that is much appreciated. I'm very humbled by that. And he definitely gave me the 2 super chats. I got 5 from Lionel. Make sure you check out Lionel. I believe he's being interviewed. I got Bernard's interviewing him, and make sure you subscribe to him. I'll put the link in this subscribe. That's fucked up what they did to his YouTube channel, so we want to get him back, at 1,000. Then you've got it was a couple other people I need to shout out, and they did it on that business stream. So I will definitely make sure I get on my ass and get some more business streams available to you all. But when you observe, this is true for Saint Center, which I'm glad he's antagonistic to Kevin Samuels. Because what this shows is that it doesn't matter who the fuck you talk to, you still gonna get the same answer. Now, Jason Black don't like Kevin like that, apparently, because I haven't subscribed from the business. I got tired of him throwing shots at the manosphere. Now, I still watch some of the videos, but I wasn't going to support that way. I'm still subscribed to, I think, his political shit. But he did a 6-figure man in DC shit. This 3 hours long. I haven't seen that. I'll probably check that out this week and give y'all a report on that. Because I'm curious if people call in and what's going on with that. You got Saint in the Center that did that fucking bullshit, did that stream with that light skin shit. Even people that don't like each other, honestly, in many ways, Saint in the Center is actually, it's funny because if you want to call somebody, the misogynistic word, he comes off as a lot more unapologetic about a woman's place than even Kevin does. Kevin is more talking about the market is telling you what the situation is, and Jason actually comes from that standpoint too. It ain't me. This is what the market is telling you based on the guys you're even talking about you say you want. Saint is saying straight up, bitch, know your fucking place, and we can be nice about it and respect you as a human being, as a woman, but at the end of the day, you're operating outside of your lane, and that's why you have problems, because your lane is your fucking lane. Irregardless, there's that word, of what you may think it is or what you've been told. He may say it with a nicer face, but he says the words just like that. He just doesn't have the anger impact to it that kind of leads to people trying to say, who hurt you? And to be fair, Jason doesn't do that. Kevin gets frustrated like we all do when you get that level of bullshit. Some people are better at holding it than others. It's kind of like saying, I want a credit, and you're told you're not going to get it. Then you talk to a supervisor that's a lot nicer about it, but they're still telling you the same thing. At the end of the day, you don't get that fucking money. I'm going to give you this instead. They're just a little bit more little bit, and not to say he's better, they're just nicer about delivering it. And that's quite frankly because he hasn't communicated with a lot of chicks like that in a way where they can just wild the fuck out. You do that for a couple of months, you'll get tired of it too. So what you're seeing is even people that don't like each other, is still coming back to the same thing. And that only reinforces the argument. I'm not saying to support him. I still think he's an asshole. I think he's arrogant. I think he is a narcissist. And I think he's arrogant. I think he's a lot of shit. But at the end of the day, the message is beyond anybody. And if he's not coming in this motherfucker fucking caping for the bitches, I mean, that is what that is. I mean, he's getting the views. Doesn't matter what we do. So it is what it is. But anyway, the point is, now, here's what my real point of this video is. You have all these women that talk about what they deserve. But here's the thing. Let me say, okay, you deserve everything you want. Fine, you can have that. What are you doing to get it? And then it's crickets. Like, because you got to think. We all know if you want an 8, 9, or 10, you're either going to have the sexual currency. And quite frankly, even if you have the sexual currency, that does not mean that woman's going to be compliant with you, because an 8, 9, or 10 can find other good dick. So you're going to have something more than that if you're dealing with 8s, 9s, and 10s. It's not going to like, they may slum it with you and your biological imperative may be getting served. But the truth is they don't really, they respect you, but they don't. You see, one thing that doesn't get said about a lot of cuckolding is, you notice how these white women never completely get off of their dude. It's just the sexual component. You got to really ask yourself, and this may sound kind of vulgar, fuck you. If white men were able to create a genetic marker that allowed them to equalize the penis size of what they perceive black men have, do you really believe that these white women would still be fucking you like that? If they were able to genetically solve the gap. And by the way, that's what Get Out was about, and that's what actually a lot of this mixing of shit is about. Do you really believe that they would be fucking with you to that level? I mean, let's keep it real. They deal with you because of a specific thing. They are sexually attracted. Now, see, for dudes, that means they like them for them. No, there's a reaction you get based on how they are. And that's based on kind of how the society is kind of created. I'm talking about white women in particular. The situation. If that wasn't there, they wouldn't give a fuck about who you were one way Sunday. And you know that's true because a lot of these chicks that be fucking up these kids in school early on is the same ones that be getting sexually attracted to them later on, is the same ones that turn into Karens later on after that. So this idea that they care about you. Now, some of them do. So I'm not saying it's always that way, but I'm saying, you got dudes that really be believing that shit. And this one thing with Smurgo. I said, do not believe sexual access is the be-all, end-all 100%. Yes, that may be the main thing that men want above everything else, because that's kind of the closest thing to respect. But if you have the sexual access, but you ain't hitting on shit, eventually they're going to try to turn on you too. What do you think all this dusty talk is about? This dusty talk is really about turning on those dudes. Now, they never truly turn on them because, again, they have they're imprinted. So it's like a nicotine addiction. But they still don't respect you. This is why you got women like Cynthia G and all these chicks always say, well, black men ain't nothing but big dicks and swag. They're angry because they can't get around that because that's how undisciplined they are. But they still don't like you. This is why they always say black people can only get along in the bedroom. And that's actually a problem. So my point is, we know that sexual currency will get you in the door, and sexual currency will get you a roster. But if you really want to command these women, you can't be just a broke ass nigga doing that. We know to hold a lot of this shit. Because this is why dudes are definitely threatened about niggas with money. Because at the end of the day, she may fuck you for free, but if I can make enough money to make it so money doesn't matter like that, it don't matter. Because I'm still getting her. She ain't really yours. You can say she's more yours, But hey, at the end of the day, I can deal with it from a bigger level than what most people can. Cause niggas that just know how to fuck and that's it, and they ain't got no money. Well, guess what? Them niggas are usually regulated to a certain type of situation. I'm not saying that they can't fuck professional women, but I'm saying their proximity on shit is generally not there. They're regulated to a city or a certain zone. You start elevating it to like overseas, or you start elevating it to higher levels. Now, we're not saying that you could be a dude that you got money and you ain't hitting on shit on anything else. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is people like to act like that shit is the be all end all, and it's actually not for the variety of black men. But again, coming back to the women, what the fuck are you doing to get the niggas that you want? If you're overweight, fuck how it lays. How it lays is what dusty niggas say. Niggas that are paid ain't really talking about no how it lay. Because if they want ass and titties, they can get that in a bitch that's in shape anyway. So the how it lay shit, and let me be very clear, just because it lay right don't mean the bitch is still fat and is not fat and obese. The shit can lay right all day. Guess what? Most of them hoes, when the shit lay right and they ain't had kids, guess the fuck what? When they have kids, the shit won't lay right. Most of the time. And most of the chicks where it say it lay right, that's really like 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 chicks that are overweight like that have the lay right lottery. And then after kids, well, it depends on how their body reacts to pregnancy. So the how it lay right shit is some shit that only black men say that. You notice that. Only black men talk about the how it lay right shit. Black men tend to be overly, ass and titties is great, but you know, having the hourglass figure, having legs, the shit being tight, not no fat ass, this really just a whole bunch of literally junk in the trunk trash can shit. This not really an actual ass. It's just on some, they just got a lot of fat that's back there. See, black men have created a culture where they accept that shit. And black men tend to think, and I'm talking about ADO's black men more than other groups. They tend to have this thing about there's nothing wrong with that. But when you look at other groups and you see that nobody else accepts that, that should tell you something right there. But the point is, if you're not working out, you shouldn't even be trying to look for a dude that makes 6 figures. Quite frankly, yes, I can say if you have a child, you shouldn't be looking for it. But the point is, most of the time, these females, when you ask them why, like Kevin, the last couple videos he uploaded, it's been coming back to, why do you think you should have a high value man? And they all talk about, I feel like. Remember what I said, all bullshit starts with I feel like. Any nigga, any bitch that tells you, I feel like, everything after that is bullshit. It is not conducive to logic. It is pretty much just my emotions tell me. Fuck your emotions. Your emotions are irrelevant. 1 + 1 is not 3 because I feel like. I understand the logic, but bitch, how you feel doesn't matter. Nigga, how you feel doesn't matter. And you notice, like, when BGS was doing, talking to Absalon and them, them niggas get mad. Because when you don't validate their emotions, this is how they've been taught. That's an effeminate thing, man. How you feel doesn't matter. You're supposed to be an adult. You're supposed to be able to control how you feel for what the reality of the situation is. Well, because I saw one video, then I feel. No, fuck how you feel. And that black men need to start telling black men that shit too. Fuck how you feel. That is not relevant. That is how you feel is not admissible in this debate. I understand, but I feel. No, not how you feel. That's not relevant. However the fuck you feel, that shit is of no concern to me. Well, I feel like I'm a 10. Okay, let me tell you how stupid that is. Well, I'm 5'5", but you know, I feel like I'm 6 foot. I feel like I'm 6'1". Let me walk up to a bit, and I'm gonna tell you something. Depending on how if a woman is feeling me, yeah, she might try to tell herself I'm 5'5". And no, I don't wear shoes that make me look like that either. I'm very conscious of that because I refuse to do some goofy shit like that, by the way. FYI. But she may feel like I'm 5'7". So you may be able to, like, if she likes you and you're 5'10", she may feel like you're 6 foot. Yeah, you can get 2 inches off that maybe, and that's because I've observed women doing that, which I found fascinating, by the way. But you're not gonna be 5'5" and I feel like I'm 6'2". That's retarded. And people would think you have a fucking learning disability if you even tried that shit. I'm 200 pounds, but I feel like I'm 160. The fuck? I'm a size 14, but I feel like I'm a size 6. This is the type of shit that have people thinking we have low IQ. Because only somebody with a low IQ would even think that they can even come to another human being and with that bullshit. You know, I only make 50,000, but you know, I feel like I make 100,000. No, it's called you being a fucking liar. AMS said lie to these hoes. It ain't a lie if you feel like it. That should be AMS's next book. It ain't lying if you feel it's true. If these bitches can get shit, that'd be a next viral video for his ass. Hey, if these hoes can feel like anything, then you can say anything. Let's go back to traditional AMS. What's to say I don't feel like that Lamborghini is mine even though I'm renting it? Hey, I feel like it's mine. I'm paying for it. At least per today. This is the games that people play. So when people so this I feel like is a way to end around reality. No, what do you if you believe you deserve it? If you say, okay, I feel like I deserve, I should be a millionaire. What are you doing to make, number one, are you? No. Okay, what are you doing to make it happen? Do you even have millionaire habits? If we're talking to a dude. Seriously. Now, you notice women would never go to a job interview talking about what the fuck they feel like. They would never go in front of a white man saying that bullshit. You don't feel like you got a degree. You either got it or you don't. You don't feel like, no, fuck that shit. You don't feel like you're a PhD. You either got it or you don't. So my thing is, I feel, I feel like, no. Do you have the work? Do you have this shit behind it? Taking these fucking selfies from the top down so people can see your titties, your titty cut, your breast cut, because you know what your waist looks like. That's why hoes, you notice how hoes be flexing when you see chicks that don't do one of the reasons women do videos is because videos can't be edited. So they like that. So they show you this ain't Photoshop. That's why they turn like that. They flexing on other bitches when they do that. I feel. No, you feel no. Do height, weight, and dress. That's why they get mad at Kevin for that. Height, weight, and dress size. And there's dudes who'll be like, well, that shit shouldn't matter. It's not about that. If you have your preferences, good job. That's cool. That's not what the point is. The point is, are you in general alignment for what this market looks like? Within what you can control. That's the question. That's the question. Height, weight, because regardless of how many kids you got, you can control your height, weight, and release your weight and dress size. You can control that. Well, I feel that's code for you have a culture that tells you that's not important. And you think black men, and this is another thing that black women run into. Black women don't feel, number one, a lot of black men don't believe they deserve better. And a lot of black women feel like black men deserve nothing. A lot of black women believe black men don't even deserve sexual access. But they believe they can still be taken on a date. And then they only want to really deal with black men. That's what makes that's retarded. So my point is, black women are not even doing the work that's necessary. Fuck black men for a second. This is why I tell black women they should date out. because being a free agent is going to let you know what your real marketplace value is. Well, colorism, that's a personal problem. That black men are never going to overturn colorism in the United States of America. You got colorism in Africa. So this idea that you expect black men to flip that bitch, that's not happening. And if you don't respect black men, hey, that's between you and God. Because I'm not even going to set that expectation giving my supervisor voice. I'm not even gonna set a fucking expectation that can happen. I'm not even gonna play with you with that. Well, colorism and we don't feel protected. Too bad. If you're in the United States of America and you act the way y'all act as a group and you don't feel protected, you're never gonna feel protected. It's not about protection at that point. And then I ask you, then if you don't feel protected by the black men you've sexually engaged with, why do you sexually engage with them? Because a woman is not supposed to be biologically capable of really having sex with a man that they don't feel protected by, not wanting sex from a man. That's one of the things, I don't tell you this, but that's one of the things, that's one of the obstacles I had to encounter being short. A lot of these hoes will say, well, I don't feel protected by a guy unless he's like 5'10" or higher. So I already know that protection shit, if you fucking a nigga, you feel protected. So when women say that bullshit, I know they're fucking lying. That's like a way of saying they don't like Congress, but you like your Congress person. Nah, fuck that. That's just some shit to elicit guilt from black men. And black men fall for that shit, a lot of them, because it's stupid. But once you see that for what it is, I don't feel protected by black men. Are you fucking black men? Yes. Why? Why? Because that's not even psychological. That's supposed to be a biological thing. Why? But you feel protected by white men with slavery. Okay. Carry champion. My point, and shout out to O'Shea did an interview with Al G's, one of the Passport Godfathers, director of Frustrated. Any of you new guys that don't know who Al G's is, you need to get up on that. Go check out that interview. Charles Tyler, rest in peace. So that's the main thing I wanted to really say. Observe it, how many of these women are not doing the things they have control over in order to get a high value dude. Now you look at these, you look at these non-black women, white women, Latin women. When they want a certain type of guy, they do what they need to do to get it. White women will even make themselves a little bit bigger to accentuate like ass and titties, and still try to keep the hourglass figure. You can tell when a white chick is trying to go get the ones that are not like naturally bigger, the ones they try to go after a black man versus a white man. They do what they need to do to get what the fuck they want, regardless of what the man is. It's not about submitting to men. It's about you see, it's funny how women talk about feminism. One of the key things of empowering yourself is that you are in control of what your situation is. That's empowering. But women tend to still want to be childlike in the sense of it's somebody else's responsibility to get you what the fuck you want. Other groups don't understand. So even the way, this is why I always say that black women come in feminism from a gynocentric standpoint, like a gynocracy standpoint. What they're dealing with is some different shit other than like what traditional feminism is. It crosses streams with a lot of feminist talking points. That's why black women will be pawns and kamikazes for feminist movement and get the lead. Black women get the least out of feminism, like as far as real tangible benefits. Yet they're the most hardcore about it. Make that make sense. So observe what these women are actually doing when they talk about they want a high value man. These chicks will have kids, but somehow still be overweight. And I'm talking about obese. And they want to talk about high leg. And this is how you know. They like, I forget who said it, but it wasn't me. They want a high value sponsor. I call it a high value golden parachute. Like Kari Figueroa, they want a retirement plan. They want to they're like a running back that's ran his miles and they think they're supposed to get a big contract, like a big retirement contract in football. We know that's not how that works. And sports is extremely egalitarian. But women believe, this is why you got women talking about their value should go up as their age goes up. They're literally applying their job to relationships. That is socially awkward. Only a socially awkward female would believe that. And this is why black women stay losing as a group. because a lot of black women are socially awkward. The only reason why you don't hear really black people really say that is because black women have a vagina that has a gravitational pull as far as men and their biological wants. So a womb gives a woman like a baseline artificial value. And in the black community, they get a lot more of a value than they otherwise would because niggas will put their dick in any bitch. Hold on one second. So niggas give black women a lot more artificial value than they otherwise would get because black men, because to them, their sexual access. So anyway, shout out to let me make sure. JP Case. Definitely shout out to him for the 1356 super chat. Shout out to Shaywood for the $100 super chat. Much appreciated. That was for the other crypto thing. So I will definitely hear you loud and clear. Lionel. So those are much appreciated. Let me go through some of the stuff y'all are saying real quick before I exit this out. Shout, what's up, Pharaoh, NC Worker. Pop y'all up so y'all can see me. NC Worker, Scott Haywood, Black Excellence. Nope. Nope. Yeah, Black Excellent keeps talking shit and you can be exited right out of the fucking stream. You're watching me, I'm not watching you. Yes, I was actually moving a TV over there. And yeah, motherfucker, I do shit while I'm doing these fucking videos. You don't like it, you don't have to watch. I actually get a lot more subscribers, but a lot of people exit stage left, and I've never understood motherfuckers bitching about what people do and then still watching. You don't have to watch. I choose to do shit. I move my fucking phone around. Look. I do that. I've always done that. I built the subscribership I have off of that. Guess the fuck what? It's what I want to do. I do these videos more like Instagram vlogs, which by the way is a lot of moving the fuck around. So you can kiss my ass. So still shooting messy video. Guess what? Your ass is still watching, aren't you? So what does that say about you? It's just like a nigga talking about, man, bitch, you need to lose weight. And then I hear, and I know this nigga fucks bitches. Niggas that fuck pregnant. I'm talking about full stomach pregnant. I ain't bitches, fucking bitches. That ain't even they pregnant by their kid. Or niggas that are fucking fat bitches trying to talk about bitches need to lose weight. Anyway, Soup Bone. A consequence of female dominance in black culture, hard work. And by the way, I'm not going to stop doing these types of videos. It's just I'm going to add other kinds of videos onto it as I do my uploads. What's up? Hanamichi, D-Rock. I saw the video. I haven't actually watched the video. I mean, you got, dude, I only got so much, like, it's like, damn. You got Professor Black Truth shit. One of the reasons why I like seeing Professor Black Truth shit because it's a good hour. But I can't see Professor Black Truth shit. You got fucking shit. That's why I had to cut out Corey Holcomb shit. Even though that was 2 hours, like, man, that shit's redundant. I don't even watch Tariq Nasheed shit like that. I just caught like Tariq Nasheed's take on it. But I can't be watching no Jason Black no 3-6 hours for that fucking long like that. And then be on the streams I'm on, then do the shit I need to do. Hell, really, I'm supposed to be watching the game. All right, I will get you on the panel, Azrael. Tank Johnson, 6-figure club. DC was born. Jason was grilling dude for being married. Oh my God. I mean, nigga, the way this is how you know what? This is how you go after Jason on that. You be like, nigga, I'm married. What about you? How about this? You go pick a bitch that's black. Then you come to me talking shit about who I pick. Because as far as I'm concerned, your ass is on the fence. That's how you kill that shit real quick. Mr. I got people, which by the way is not the thing to talk the most shit about, saying you got people giving you like asking to marry you. That's, women are not supposed to ask men to marry them. That's not supposed to be like a flattering thing. Captain Cisco, seeking my creator. Marriages that should be married. Utopia. Primetime VA. Facts Dual Smash XX. Seeking my creator. Yes, I am selling marriage insurance. You should. That'd be a good business. They're overrated, period. Yeah, man. And it's not, again, this is not about bashing anybody. Shout out to all of the black girls workout hashtags. Don't act like there's not a support system for black women to lose weight. There is. There's a lot of network marketing companies that are built around black women losing weight and being in communion with other black women and making money doing it. So I don't want to hear that shit. That's a choice. Hartsfield Jackson, Charlie Rose, talk about messy videos, messy this, messy. And my thing is, look, man, I'm in different parts of YouTube. I understand the hookups people have, but y'all got to remember, sometimes, I like to look at smaller channels too. One thing that I will tell you is, any of these channels that are huge, go look at their older videos. Most of them haven't gotten rid of them, and you'll see what they used to do. But this thing about talking about somebody's messy video, as far as I'm fucking concerned, don't watch. And it's really like, if somebody has an issue with what I do and how I do it, I will help you not watch. Like, I've never commented on anybody's shit telling them what the fuck they need to do with their shit. I just say, I'm not going to watch. I don't understand, like, how hard. Do you understand how fucking that's like people having a learning disability. I only see black people do that shit, by the way. Point Dexter, it's considered, first of all, man, this is what struggle love really means. Struggle love meaning the dick is good, but the nigga's broke. That's what that means. That's why they like it. And I'm like, no, that's not struggle love. That's a fucking choice. You value genetic currency and sexual currency, because technically genetic currency is really how you look. Sexual currency is more your magnetism and your ability to perform sexually over economic currency. That's what you care most about. Just like these white bitches will deal with economic currency and then they'll cheat later. It's not saying they're better. It just is what it is. But calling it struggle love, like you're shamed, guess what? You're already giving the dude the ass. You're not going to shame him into wanting to be a better nigga. Bitch, you already sucking the dick. Shut up or leave. And I know you'll come back, because you're going to deal with that lame ass nigga, go out on a date, be looking at your phone, waiting for me to come through. And the truth is, eventually them niggas are going to get tired of feeding you for free. So, bitch, you going to be back here, because you ain't shit. You know it, I know it. So what the fuck? So you could go cry on the internet, talk about your struggle love. It's all about commodity. A dude that has sexual currency, that is a commodity you can trade on. Same thing with genetic currency to a certain extent. Men understand what we can trade on. We don't sit there and try to bend fucking reality. We're just saying that we're not going to clean up the baggage and deal with the baggage. Shout out to Pharaoh. Yeah, I mean, Jason Black is gonna keep it real. He still got to keep it pro-black. But Jason Black, that's one thing. He ain't never lied. That's why I could care less about him not claiming red pill and all of that. It ain't about red pill. It's about common fucking sense. And 2020, this shit ain't gonna be easy. I mean, I know y'all see that stat floating around talking about a whole bunch of women lost jobs, like 140,000, and that's not all black women. And these other women, when they get desperate, they gonna start saying, okay, all men are on the table. Because it's not that they're not sexually attracted to different men. It's like, okay, my privilege versus me knowingly fucking with them. And it's like, if it ain't enough white men, it ain't enough white men. What these white men gonna do? Especially if these women are talking about, I ain't trying to have a baby with dude. And these women don't have these problems to that extent, which affects you. Yeah, they got feminism still, but it's not, these women are not like coming out the gate with like this resentment and anger towards black men. That's another advantage a lot of these women have over black women. Is black women got to get over that anger and resentment. And the black women that don't have that problem tend to not have these problems. What's up, Iman? What's up, Sir Anthony? Yeah, all y'all should get a passport just to have one. I mean, the thing about a passport is that's one of the most secured pieces of documentation you can have. You know, I've never gotten that one, but the thing about it is they don't have to feel protected by light-skinned brothers. Look, man, people like to give meaning to why they like what they like because they want to it's like you buy something, you justify why you buy it, you know? So at the end of the day, you read that for what it is. The truth is, light-skinned dudes are not hurting in this sexual marketplace. And light-skinned dudes are not hurting if you just filter for just black women in this sexual marketplace. That's why you don't see a lot of light-skinned dudes really bitching online like that. They just do what they do. And a lot of black men have this thing about attention, so they believe what's not seen is not really doing well. Because black people assume that what you can see and what gets the most attention is what's doing the best. That's not true. It's not really true. Shout out to NBA Pan. Each year is a shithole country. The only reason y'all survive is colonials. That's fucked up. I'm not getting into these Etrian that political shit. Cause that's, as far as I'm concerned, y'all the same people, just political. That's none of my business. I feel like the Giants. Hey man, I feel like the Bears should have, and thank God they did. We'll see if they can win though. Exactly. They do that. And all of them don't just squat. A lot of them, if they know that they have a hard time keeping the weight down, they'll let it go just a little bit. Like they do with like everybody, all these women got tricks. It ain't just black women. And the problem is black women want to create an ism around them competing. And I'm like, that's nobody's problem. Just like if black women were going after white men, nobody would be saying that. Like, this is one video that I'm not even going to go into talking about, well, you want black men, like black men want black women to choose better. This is what that means. And I'm like, I already know you used to dealing with broke ass niggas. I already know that's what you used to dealing with because that's who that video is for. Like, oh, well, black men, what are y'all gonna do? What are we gonna do? It doesn't matter. Like, we're still saying it. Just stop trying to justify why you do what you do to be with dudes. Because women don't think that way. Shout out to Xanatos Clutch. I consider white men gaining ass to get black men as an insult. Why can't I get within white women like white men are guaranteed in America? Well, it depends on what we talking about, Clutch. Like this is what I would say. Go look up Lauren Pesciosa. It's the chick. This the manager of Nikki Haley. Like, look at that. That's not the same as like chicks, being like an ace of spades white bitch. Or like you look at Nikki Haley. That's not the same. So I get what you're saying, but there's degrees to what you're talking about. Cause I don't want no flat ass, flat chested white bitch. If we're gonna deal with like Caucasians, I prefer a more Mediterranean. They gotta have a female figure. They gotta have a figure. That's not necessarily ass and titties, like in by a lot, but it's a figure. Something no cap, no BS. Sup Archer. Dude, it's not about constructive criticism. I've already said I'm gonna do shit. I do the videos the way I want to do it. We've had this conversation. You've been in this conversation, Black Excellence. So it's a difference between constructive criticism and you being redundant, and motherfuckers telling me what I'm gonna do. Those are two completely different things. And yes, you know how this space is enough to know that you got niggas trying to tell motherfuckers what the fuck you do or what the fuck to do their content. It's not constructive criticism. You're not telling me something I don't know. I run this like a vlog anyway, like a cell phone live. That's why YouTube allows you to do it this way. I know a lot more about shit. This is my workroom. Shit, there's a fucking tripod right there. I got like a green screen in my closet right behind me. I got a green screen and a black screen. Shit. I got a lot of shit, man. I just don't pull it all out. Yep, I got that Captain Cisco. I got that from fucking David Carroll, the learning disability. It is. That phase is over. You're right, Sir Anthony. We know most of these chicks ain't got nothing to say. Because there's no argument. We've literally been in 2 cycles now of women admitting that they want thugs. What you gonna do about it? 7-3. We've been through 2 cycles of that already. So we already know what they're on. There's nothing to talk about anymore. Now it's a matter of expanding. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. I was gonna think about doing a video talking about, and this may be one of my first recent uploads, but is the black manosphere constricting is it good for growth or bad for growth? Because truthfully, a lot of the manosphere kind of if you really want to grow your channel, you have to kind of like be willing to say fuck it and kind of do you, and then whoever comes along does, whoever doesn't. Oh, please. They're down 7-3. Don't tell me they don't have a chance. It took overtime last time. I don't think it's likely they're going to win, but they got a chance. Honestly, primetime VA, no, we don't got to call them niggas out. The thing about the traveling, but there's 2 sectors of the traveling. You have the manosphere sector, the black manosphere sector, and then you have the general traveling market. Honestly, there's a whole apparatus of black women that travel. There's the Pan African side of travel. There's a lot of shit going on with that. That market means nothing. And these niggas, honestly, fuck these niggas. These niggas, like, shout out to Jap, who kind of came off of that a little bit. He just said, we're just going to agree to disagree. But anybody, nigga, get your passport. Because I'm going to keep it real with you. If you're a dude and you don't know shit about this shit, first of all, these Z's are not fucking with black women anyway. But my thing is, you should get your passport anyway. If you don't let another nigga tell you why, and the only answer they got is because it's lame, then that's on you. We just build what we need to build. Exactly, Xanatos. If you're light skinned, just learn another language and leave the US. It's whatever. But see, you do that, then motherfuckers start getting mad. So I let dudes. Here's the thing: when it comes to shit like that, I let y'all believe what the fuck y'all want to believe. Honestly, because it don't hurt me one way or the other. It actually helps light skinned dudes to operate under the radar. Because we definitely don't need you niggas to be acting like dark skinned black women on some colorism shit. We just don't need that. Like, for real. That is not going to be convenient to light-skinned black men in any kind of way. So, it's like, you can believe what the fuck you want to believe. We will stay in the background. We do not need motherfuckers representing us in sports. Even though you got them and it's growing, we do not need us representation on TV. We don't need that shit. We'll just operate back here, getting what the fuck we want to get. I mean, Black Excellence can have his opinions, but my thing is, he look like you already know how I run my shit, and when I decide to change, I'm gonna decide to change. I mean, there ain't no hard feelings. It's not at him personally, but I've been saying this over and over, and I'm not gonna make this. And I appreciate him for not constantly making posts about it, but I'm not gonna keep on saying the same thing over and over and over again. I mean, Ethiopian women are attractive, but at the same time, you know, like your deep to will day, I think is Etrian. So I don't get that shit is beyond me. It's like you either fucking with black men or you not. So the whys is really irrelevant. And as far as like the political shit between Eritrea and Ethiopia, that's none of my business. Well, Jason Black has tried to pull that shit too. He's tried that shit. The Pookies or Ray Rays or the warrior class. Again, that's a woman giving meaning to her sexual attraction. This would be the same bitch to talk about they dusties. Latrell said, "What do I think about all these commercials with white men and black women? What? It ain't gonna change shit. The truth is, it's torturing. Honestly, it's torture. It's trolling black women. You got advertisements with black women with no kids, and then what? Like no black women with no dad but kids. Right besides white non-black people with family." And then you got that. That's trolling. At the end of the day, that bothers us nowhere the other way. That doesn't. I mean, that doesn't change anything. Thoughts on NBA YoungBoy? I may do a video on NBA YoungBoy with one of my uploads. Um, I mean, and NBA YoungBoy is the oldest. Keep that in mind. I don't know what to say, man. I mean, he got the money. Hopefully, he maintain it. I hope he don't wind up like getting broke and he maintain it. But the truth is, that's on the hey. I mean, all that does is prove what we say. I don't know what else. And then those are not even those are women that got access to higher tier dudes. Some of them, like Regina Carter and all them. But that's how them bitches are. They're living polygamously, but then wanna act like that's. But they want to have egos that they're too good for that. My thing is, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do that, but do it. Stop fucking front. Even Irene Yvette said that. She said a lot of black women gotta stop acting like they want like monogamous single family relationships when they are living via polygamously. And a lot of women are doing that. And again, that's a culture thing. They just don't want to call it that because the feminism in them or the gynocracy in them says no black man deserves that. Pharaoh, we have a doubt in the chat, Ed, about women staying jobless and automated clear. He can doubt it. When somebody steps up to the plate, and once nobody has reached out to me about being debated about anything. It is disorganized. It's really not polygamy because polygamy is organized. So it's really just nigga shit. Animalistic fucking. That's what I call it. It's not that much different than rednecks fucking each other and fucking cousins and shit. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't agree with a lot of what Thomas Sowell has said, but one of the biggest things that I do agree with it is we need to start calling that shit what it is, which is redneckism. Black redneckism. That really needs to be something that needs to be put out there in the lexicon. The problem is you won't get a lot of black men to do that because a lot of black men are gonna see that as an attack on them. That's why stuff like that has never gotten far. No, it ain't no, it's like black excellence. That's what it is. I call it the I want my cake and eat it too syndrome. They want their perception of alpha dick is the rebelliousness of a lot of these pookies because the 80s burnt out any semblance of culture we have really in the black community in that sense. And so really these women are just out here doing that, and it's just a matter of dudes either engaging with that or finding other options. You're starting to see these Z's start to find other options. And it's people always it ain't all black women, but it's about 20-30% of the ones that aren't really doing it to that extent. And then you got 70% is degrees. It's degrees. They're not all like DEFCON 1, but it's degrees to them doing it. And those be the main ones talking about. Remember, black women that never entertain dusty ass niggas don't tend to talk about dusty niggas like that. Women that be fucking dusty niggas on the low, those be the ones that got something to say about dusty niggas because they're intimate with them. So when women always say, "Oh, you're dusty," you're like, "Bitch, you fuck dusties." Like, ask a black woman this: if a dusty knows how to fuck and has a big dick, would you um would you deal with them? And you know they're gonna pause. They're not gonna say no off the gate. They're gonna pause because they know they have. Ha, Xanatos. I didn't time you out. Well, Utopia, I'm not. Let's be clear here. I'm not a pro point. Like, when you say point desters, like, honestly, it's rare that I'm gonna call a nigga a point. Like, these little binary art things, you a Pookie, you a point dexter, you a man, please. But like, these are ways that black women like to basically categorize us based on their sexual attraction and their imprint, and they don't even know that. The truth is, when I hear black women call niggas point dexters, they don't really be point dexters. They just not hyper masculine niggas that they deal with. And that really, when you need an ultra hyper masculine dude, that says you're not really in touch with your femininity like that. Because women are not supposed to need extraordinary hyper masculine men. This is why the same women is talking about toxic masculinity be the same women talk about they're sexually attracted to toxic masculinity. So when you say point dexters all day, I would like to see a picture of the dude that you dealt with. Because I promise you, them niggas will not be point dexters like you're saying it. I'm not a point dexter. I don't really hang with point dexters. So I really don't know what you're talking about when you really say that. Like, you would need to give me a celebrity before I hang this up. Give me a celebrity that you would consider a point dexter. Give me two. Because I don't know what that means when you say it. Because with black people, something can mean anything and everything. So Eatery and Habisha, so I see why you got timed out. So what do you mean by non-American black women choose better men than American black men? Because you do realize I'm an ADOS American black man. So what you said is offensive. So actually explain what the fuck you're saying. Because from what I see, non-American black women just coon it up with white men. We just did a video on a lot of non-American black women, especially Africans. You all worship you all worship whiteness. So you all will deal with bottom shelf brats and deal with motherfuckers that are quasi racist, don't even like black people. And when they don't like American blacks, that means they don't like your ass either. And call them better because they're not black. That's what y'all do. So when you say stupid shit like that, yeah, you're gonna get timed out. Tell you what, when I do the next stream I do with a panel, make sure you're there. Yeah, I am digging in my nose. Make sure you're there so that you can talk to me about that shit. Because you saying that's kind of a bitch statement. Not American black women choose better men than black American men. I promise you that if it's a choice between American black men and non-American and non ADOS black men, we'll take your bitches, and that includes your bitches, Ethiopian and Etrian. So, and that sounds like the type of energy you're kind of giving me right now. Like an American black man that took a bitch of yours and now you're mad. That's the only reason why you would come in this space and make a statement like that. Pace flow. Ed, what do you disagree with Time and Soul on? That's another video for another time. Exactly, Hanamichi. They do. They describe normal dudes as nerds. Like one chick was talking about how she had a baby by a dude and he's a geek. What does he do for a living? He's a truck driver. Really? I need to see him. Because y'all have this thing. I don't know what the fuck is wrong. Like black women have I want black. This is what I would like, Utopia. And I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm just saying I want black women to do a blog post or some kind of screen share or slideshow. Show me what a point Dexter is. Cause I don't know it. To me, that's like a nigga that ain't a pookie to y'all. It's like if that nigga ain't a pookie, it ain't got tats, and he's a dude without tats, and he's a normal dude. Like a lot of people would think, oh, Lawrence is a point Dexter. No, he's what the fuck? So a lot of y'all got different definition of point Dexters, which is another thing that keeps a lot of black women away, just segmented off a whole sector of men, and then other women rate them, and then they bitch. It's about colorism. No, you all want niggas to pursue you that you're not attracted to because of your own issues. I'm not talking about you personally, but you just said that a couple of times now, and I just have never said anything. Yeah, man, point Dexters all day. I don't know this is not a point Dexter space. The manosphere is not a point Dexter space. I don't know what in that if you got point, like show me, like there's only a couple of dudes I would consider point Dexters. I'm not gonna call them out because I don't want nobody to get mad. Oh, fuck Platinum, please. Platinum's out of Memphis, Tennessee. The end. Shout out to Carl, by the way. But Platinum's out of Memphis, Tennessee. The end. Exactly. Well, of course. Well, understand something about Danielle. Look at who Danielle is. Danielle engaged to a Pookie. So she can say that shit all day, every day. But at the end of the day, this is why, when women talk about why don't black men care, this is why black men don't care, because we know what time it is. Look, I don't give a fuck about what a woman wants. My thing is I'm not cleaning up her bullshit. That's all that is. Pace Flow, Donald Glover. Okay. Who else? Because Donald Glover's audience is white. And he's with a white bitch. So who else? That's one. And Donald Glover ain't even like out there like that. And let's be real. Really though, like Donald, I call it the Urkel standard. Donald Glover just lives his life the way he wants to live it. But Donald Glover is not one of these, he's not really. If you ever met him in person, Donald Glover ain't like one of these I'm socially awkward, I can't handle shit. He's also a creative. So you got to kind of give them a little bit of rope. But I'll give you Donald Glover. You see the green screen in the back? Yeah. Neo Tyson. Oh, okay. All right, Etrian. Okay. I stand corrected. I mean, I got to go with what's being said. That's true, Xanato. They don't like thugs like that because they've been taught to look at people through class. So they see thugs as low class, and they know their family will disown their ass if they do that shit. Whatever. Oh, I didn't know you were female. I don't know. Shit. Y'all gotta declare this shit. Y'all motherfuckers act like I'm be all end all. Okay. So you're a female. That makes more sense. I didn't know that. I only got like 3% females in my space. So pardon me. But notice how I didn't time you out. And by the way, y'all already know I told y'all not to time these females out unless they say crazy shit. So I've already told y'all that. BGS says because we're taking their bitches. you gotta blame BGS's son for that shit. But he got tied down. Shout out to BGS. Ain't Tupac in a suit. Shout out to Utopia for the $8 super chat. Non-celebrity, your everyday hardworking man. Science on debate team. Men that most women feel are boring. No worries. We can just no, absolutely. I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm just trying to say, look, that's an angle that needs to be impacted. Here's the thing, though. Utopia. Okay, so you put that out. I appreciate the $8 super chat. The strongest, the most masculinity is most of the masculinity in black manhood for the most part is housed in the blue collar trades. So when you say you're everyday hardworking man, like a blue collar and a white collar, those are two completely different things. Blue collar, because they work with their hands, is more physical. They're going to generally not be considered Poindexters. They're just not, even if they're interested in that type of shit because of the nature of what they do. And this is where a lot of black male wealth resides anyway, which is in the blue collar fields. The white collar fields, you're more likely to get that, but then it depends on what you do. Like Lawrence is a good example as a fictional character because Lawrence was in tech and all that, but Lawrence is not a Poindexter. That is a cultural thing with black people. Non-black people would not consider him that. Now, yes, I'm not saying they would say he's a thug bad boy, but they don't do that. Only in the black community do you see that shit. And that's important. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but like, see, even with the definition you gave me, that's not a Poindexter. That's not a Poindexter. That's not a Poindexter. That's not. That's just a normal dude. Now, if you talk about debate on the science team, okay, you might be getting more in there. But that's kind of like, that's not the same thing. There's normal dudes, there's street dudes, and there is Poindexters. Most black men are normal dudes with shades of certain things here or there. Because all black men ain't all everything. For example, BGS, for example, grew up in the crack era, went to a white school, chemistry, geopolitics. But BGS played basketball. BGS, obviously the women he dealt with, he wouldn't consider himself a Poindexter. So really, that's more about women's ability to discern their men, which makes them open to their men getting took. He is a Pookie. He is a Pookie. And he thinks like one. And he tries to act like he ain't. That's why I got real annoyed when he brought up that Love Dorsey. Like he was talking shit. I got real annoyed by that shit. Like for real. Exactly. Even yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Xanatos, I do kind of consider it like that. Maybe kind of, I do. Even Glennon Cameron is another example of that. When he said he's not culturally compatible with black women, that's one of the reasons he said he wasn't. Now that's a dude that does BDSM. But he considers himself like yeah, I wouldn't. He would never consider himself a Poindexter. But see, this idea when you say Poindexter and masculinity generally don't mix up, and so again, he would say he's a progressive black person. So progressive black dudes are considered Poindexters, and even SWP used to talk about this because he's in the gym. So again, this is irregardless, dudes are still gonna be the marketplace. Is gonna be the marketplace, and yeah, it does love Memphis, Tennessee. It loves Memphis and it loves Miami and it loves Dallas. What I think will happen to the manosphere, it will expand. The end. I'm not hating on Memphis. Memphis is considered the bastard baby maker capital of the world, and where Martin Luther King died and Elvis. Jaleel White. You mean when he played Urkel, or you mean the actual actor? Exactly. Donald Glover's an entertainer. Exactly, because like the thing is, a lot of that they like what they that small percentage of what they like is manifestation of their disrespect and discontent to black men. And I say this not to beat up on black women. I say this to say this is a big reason why you all like what you like. See, black men do not generally have these same kind of destinations, so our pool is going to be a lot more open. And so a lot of when women are bitching, this is why when women talk about high value men, I laugh at that shit because I'm like, y'all don't want a high value man that's a Poindexter. The high once you start saying, okay, you're gonna have a high value man, y'all gonna start saying he's gotta be 6 feet, he's gotta be this, he's gotta be that. You already know that's coming. And high value men doesn't take account what you like as far as how a dude looks. And a lot of dudes that's going to be making this money are going to be making this money not because they're beautiful dudes. They're going to be making this money because they got because they're driven to make up for that shit. A lot of them. But see that never is a calculation of how women think. Yeah, you're right. Contrail, you are either Tupac or Steve Urkel. Michael B. Jordan was considered a square. You're right. And if you actually, I remember Michael B. Jordan all the way from Hardball with Keanu Reeves. That was shot in Chicago. Even even the dudes like Keep It Techie is not a Poindexter. Dudes that talk about crypto are not Poindexters. Yeah, I haven't been really pushing the likes, but make sure y'all get the likes up. Okay. I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm not trying to start nothing. ARC's married. He got a kid too. He got shit to do. Damn, I'm watching on my iPad. We shit. Wayne Brady again. Wayne Brady's an entertainer. So Wayne Brady, like, no. He said, "Love your lives. We gotta get off Cricket Mobile." Actually, I have AT&T prepaid. I don't have a problem with women over here. I really don't. Yeah, but Poindexter is like a brain minus any kind of social skills. It's kind of like you're so in your logic brain, you can't really operate outside of that. Yeah, I could believe that, Etria and Habisha. You are like Ethiopian women in the United States versus ones. Because the thing about it is, you got to understand something about Ethiopian women. Their men were never conquered. So some of them can have a different type of mentality. And it's not bad. It's just, you can't come at like Like, it's certain women you just can't come at it the way you would come at it in the United States. But even then, you gonna have to have money dealing with Ethiopians. Like, that's just straight. You don't like it because really a lot of them want to deal with white men if they're here. So you gonna have to have your shit together, like for real. I don't know what Platinum said. No, that's cool, Utopia. That's cool. I mean, it's not about you. I only kind of unpacked it because even words matter. So when people say Point Dexter, a lot of most black women are gonna say geek, and these are things that give them meaning to their mentality. And the problem is, the truth is, a lot of black women, what they're doing is they're looking at the television, they're looking at the what's the rappers, and they're trying to find niggas in real life like the rappers they want to fuck. And that's what's driving the sexual gravity in the black community, which is fucking sad, but it's true. That, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, but the thing about it is, all them dudes, a lot of them dudes you all are naming, like Wayne Brady, Tyrone Maggins, them dudes are built over 6 feet. They're gonna get a pass in their mind. Angry Man said this. A woman, and I remember, she literally told him he was not a geek because she was looking at how he looked versus the fact that he likes anime. I don't own a marketing company, but I do affiliate marketing. Yeah. And another thing is, there's degrees to that shit. There's degrees to that shit. Like and a lot of times people put like black men, contrary to what black women like to believe, black men do not put black women in a box as much, nowhere near as much as they put us in a box. I wouldn't call myself a marketing guru, not yet. I got to earn that title. Exactly. Well, that's because black women don't want that in other groups of men. That's how you know it's not. That's how you know that shit is more of. That's how you know it has something to do with resentment towards black men, because they don't see that. But also, it's also that they value whiteness and value. You got to understand, a non-black woman can speak to a black woman's femininity like a black man can't, because black women don't value black men as a group. That's the problem. That's what accounts for what you said. And I don't think that's true. She's been in this space for a little bit. I mean, dude, there are some women that can deal with a normal dude. I mean, that's not. I see that. I mean, it ain't nigga like there's degrees to it. It ain't all these women. Like, all these women ain't only fucking thugs. That, like, come on now. And I'll give you a perfect example, Clutch. If you go into like a lot of the I don't really consider this the black geek space, but it would be in the black geek space. You see a lot of those channels where it's like male and females, like two black people, and you see that where they're doing reaction channels together and stuff. Them dudes like it's normal shit. Like, people, I think, like I said, man, that's between them, but it is what it is. Anyway, y'all, this has been great. I appreciate the super chats, but I do have things to do. Well, Utopia, it would be more like you would like it would be more like something where it needs some visuals. That's all it is. But anyway, I appreciate y'all hanging out. I gotta finish this shit up. So with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace. Oh, by the way, I do got some cool stuff coming in store. So Yeah, stay tuned.